Hi everybody, it's Michael from backtothefuturetrading.com and you're watching another episode of Ninjatrader Unplugged. It's important when you're first starting to learn how to trade not to blow your bank account on indicators you don't understand. And a lot of times it's easy to fall prey to your own weaker judgments and just sort of jump right in and start spending money from your trading account on programs. And so it's not necessary when you first start out to invest in programs like ours, for example, which are awesome for traders that have 6 months or more worth of experience under their belt. So today I want to introduce you to sort of like a starter kit for a basic trading system that I've been putting together for you this morning using a free indicator that we gave out a few weeks ago to the NinjaTrader community called the Oscillator Alert. And so on here I want you to see I've got two indicators on my chart, both of which are available in our NinjaTrader Unplugged Dropbox. The first one is an old friend. You've seen me use it a number of times before. It's the EMA-Slope-Color indicator. And while it's really simple in its performance, it's incredibly intuitive in its display in terms of trend. And what I've set it to do, used a 120 period exponential moving average, and I've told the indicator, hey, when you're moving up, when your slope is up, when things are getting better and rising, I want you to be green and a dot. And then conversely, when you're starting to fall, I want you to be red and a dot. And so you can see here, when the trend is moving up, it's pretty obvious. You'd have to, have macular degeneration to not be able to see that. And even then, if you had your eyes close enough to the screen, you'd be able to see what's going on. The second one is one of our newest free indicators for the NinjaTrader community. It's called the Oscillator Alert. And what it does, what I love about it, is it takes these NinjaTrader indicators that come free with your package and sort of weaponizes them. It gives us a signal to actualize off of, to integrate into a trading system. And so what I've got here is the following. I'm using a 3-range E-mini S&P chart, and that's generally really good for scalping the E-mini S&P. So you sort of know it's 3 ticks, each candle is 3 ticks, and it helps compartmentalize that risk in your head as opposed to a minute candle that might have 12 or 13 ticks before it closes. So I've told the indicator, hey, Oscillator Alert, I'm using a 3-range bar. And then the second thing I've done, and I've done this in other videos, is I've clicked on the Input Series button, and when I did, a little selection box came up, and I chose the Fisher Transform from the NinjaTrader indicator list, because it's a really good indicator for helping detect turns and pullbacks in the direction of the trend, as you'll see here in a moment. And then what I've done is I've told it what my overbought and oversold settings will be, where I want the indicator to look for turns. All right, so I'm going to save this template in a moment so you have it in our NinjaTrader Unplugged Dropbox. You don't have to recreate this. I've already built it for you. But look at the results. And what we've got here is a fairly intuitive system. And if you don't even want to see the oscillator, you could drop it down. But if you want to see where the signals are coming from, you can see underneath where those turns in the Fisher Transform are appearing. And the purpose of the Oscillator Alert is to let me know when the indicator was moving down and then started to curl up. Those curls are where a lot of opportunity can present themselves, as you're about to see here. So let's put together a pretty simple trading plan. Rule number 1, use a bigger font. Rule number 1, we're only going to take trend signals. So if the EMA is up, we're only going to take up arrows. And similarly, if the EMA is down, we're only going to take down Fisher Transform Oscillator Alert signals. Number 2, our risk is going to equal 3 ticks above or below the high or low of the candle. Again, we're kind of fixating on one number in our heads so we don't have to make these decisions on the fly. Okay, so number 3, we enter at the close of the signal candle. I'll show you what that means in a moment. And 4, here's what's really important. Our reward is always going to equal 2 times our risk. So whatever we're willing to risk in the market in a trend trade, we're demanding that the market give us twice as much. So if we invest a nickel, we want a dime. If we invest 50 cents, we want a silver dollar. We always want to try to double our money every time we go in the market. General rule of thumb when you're starting to learn, especially with a trending system, your minimum reward should be about 1.5 times your risk. Otherwise, you're putting yourself early on in a position where your drawdowns may be too low to sustain emotionally or, heaven forbid, financially. And then number 5, if we get within 1 tick of our target, we're going to move to break even halfway. So we'll go halfway to our target with our break even stop as it follows us down. So let's take a look at how, and you can pause this video now and go through this after the fact, but let me kind of go through what that means in terms of real time. So at 9:31 we'll start. That's probably another rule here that I should mention. Number 6, we start at 9:30 and we end at lunchtime, Eastern time. And you can change these rules to match your market and your time frame. And so here, watch. The candle closed at 20:35.75. I put a stop. I drew these lines by hand, 3 ticks underneath that. And then the target was twice that risk above me. So it ended up being a 1.5 winner. Okay, so the next signal that comes along occurs at 9:34, and at 9:34 the candle closes at 37.75. The low of that candle is at 37, and then I put the stop 3 ticks underneath that candle. So my risk is the gap between the entry and my stop loss. My target is 2 times that. My target is 2 times that value. And so that ends up being a 2.5 point winner. And then you can see we have nothing really to do. There's a counter trend signal. I don't incorporate those in the plan. We come back around, and then the oscillator alert indicator detects another curve up in its duty. So its job, its duty is to find these curves. It finds the curve, it prints the arrow, same thing. 3 ticks under the low, twice the reward is over here. Here's an example of 2 stop outs. The candle here closes at 45.25. Your risk is 3 ticks under the wick of the candle, the low. So you're stopped out for a 1.25. Same thing over here. You're stopped out for a 1.5. And when we go through all of the different iterations, you'll see that we start to understand the importance of the money management component of this system. So we have a nice short entry here. The candle closes full body underneath the moving average. So I want a signal where the body of the candle is completely under or completely above the line in the case of a long. We have a nice winner there, and then a loser, 1.5 point stop loss, and then again a 2.75 point winner. Now here's an example of the break-even plus that we were talking about earlier. It comes all the way down to within 1 tick of the target. Don't let big winners like that turn into losers. So you always want to pay yourself whenever possible and protect your capital. So when we got there, we moved our stop down to halfway, and we were only taking a 1.25 out of that position. So all in all, if we adopt that kind of a trend strategy and we get all the way to lunchtime, when we're finished, we have a hypothetical equity curve that kind of looks like this. So we've taken all of our trades here and put them in an Excel sheet, and then we've added up a cumulative value so that at the end of the day, after the 15 trades, we're up 9 points. We're about $450 per contract, not including slippage and commissions and all those wonderful things. Most of the trades, if you used a limit order, you would have gotten filled at your entry at limit, and one or two of them you might have had to let go if it didn't fill you right away at that point. But generally speaking, this is probably the most important part of the video. When you're using proper money management, in this case a 2-to-1 risk-reward ratio, you'll see that your losers are substantially smaller than your winners. And that can be really important for you psychologically. You're not going to win 80-90% of the time. In fact, many trend traders that I know are profitable 45 to 50% of the time, but mathematically their rewards are consistently higher by orders of magnitude than their risk. So, simple system using a free indicator. I'm going to save this template right now in my Dropbox folder so you can see what I'm about to do. I'm going to save this template in the Dropbox with today's date, 05/06/16 Oscillator Alert System. So when you log into our Dropbox file, you're going to see an indicator, or rather a template, the XML being the template file, 05/06/16 Oscillator Alert System. Then you'll see all the other free indicators that we've got in there for you: the divergence spotter, divergence input series, dynamic support and resistance lines, the EMA-Slope-Color, and then down here you'll see the Oscillator Alert indicator that we're using to generate these tools. If you'd like these tools, you simply need to browse to the following website address, backtothefuturetrading.com/unplugged. And when you get there, you'll see a place to put your name and email. That's going to give us a place to send the Dropbox link to, and then you'll have that so you can download the indicators for yourself, open up the template file, and see this trading system for yourself. Backtest it. Tell me what you think. You can always add to it or improve on it. This is just a starting ground to hopefully get some of you pointed in the right direction. Again, I'm Michael with backtothefuturetrading.com. If you want to find out more about us, you can visit us at our website, backtothefuturetrading.com, and take our free video demo. This is available for futures, forex, and equities traders. Be careful out there. Remember, the markets aren't random. NinjaTrader is the most awesome platform ever created. We can do so many powerful things with it, and our customers are just having a blast with the power of the platform. I would encourage you, if you haven't already done so, get yourself a license to start working with. Get your accounts funded over there with the brokerage side of things. You won't be disappointed. They're a great company to work with. Thanks for your time. I hope these videos and tools and training times are useful for you. Take care.